It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you, Your Royal Highness. Prince Abdulaziz bin Nasser bin Abdulaziz is a very prominent figure in Saudi Arabia. He's been involved in investment. We have with us also Mr. Raed Habiss, who is working with His Royal Highness also. Raed Habiss is very, very prominent businessman, and we are working together with ITIC, with him, to try to do some difference in Saudi Arabia. I'll start by asking His Royal Highness a particular question. He has prepared something to answer me with. Your Royal Highness, Saudi Arabia is leading the G20 now. In November, you'll have a big meeting. We have said that this is the beginning of a new world order. How do you see the role of Saudi Arabia in all of this? Can Saudi Arabia provide the leadership in tourism that the world is expecting? Thank you so much, Your Royal Highness. Shukran, Samul Amir. Fatima? Yalla, Samul Amir. Okay, Samul Amir. The floor is yours.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أصحاب المعالي، وزراء السياحة، أصحاب السعادة، السيدات والسادة الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Excellency.
Okay, go ahead.
شكرا. Excellency, Ministers of Tourism, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, peace, mercy and blessings of Allah.
يسعدني أن أشارككم في ملتقى السفر العالمي لمناقشة آفاق السياحة العالمية واستثماراتنا بعد ما مر به العالم من وباء فيروس كورونا COVID-19.
I am glad to participate in the Global Travel Forum to discuss the prospects of global tourism and its investments. The world is being passed by the pandemic of COVID-19.
حيث أن قطاع السياحة العالمية هو القطاع الأكثر تضرراً من هذا الوباء، ولكن فلننظر إلى المستقبل المشرق لقطاع السياحة.
And as the global tourism is the most affected sector by this pandemic, but let's look at the bright future of the tourism sector, especially in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
وخاصة في المملكة العربية السعودية، حيث أن المملكة تحت القيادة الحكيمة لخادم الحرمين الشريفين الملك سلمان بن عبد العزيز وولي عهده الأمين صاحب السمو الملكي الأمير محمد بن سلمان.
Especially in Saudi Arabia and under the wise leadership of custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz and his faithful crown prince, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The kingdom is witnessing a daily and new development, especially in the tourism sector.
يشهد التطور جديد في كل يوم، وخاصة في قطاع السياحة والذي يخدم جميع قطاع آخر.
نعم. Yes. And the kingdom is witnessing a daily new development, especially in the tourism sector.
حيث تخطط رؤية المملكة 2030 لجذب 100 مليون سائح بحلول عام 2020-30. فالمملكة تمتلك العناصر والإمكانات المؤهلة لذلك، فلديها التنوع السياحي والتراثي والحضاري.
Which services over or other 28 sectors, and where the vision of the Kingdom 2030 aims to attract 100 million tourists by 2030. The Kingdom has the tools and the potentials, and it has a diversity of tourism, heritage and civilizations.
مما يمكنها من تطوير السياحة الدينية والتاريخية والترفيهية والتراثية.
That enables to develop the religious, historical, recreational, and heritage tourism.
فالخبرة السياحية بالمملكة تعود إلى 4000 عام من خلال زيارات بيت الله الحرام في كافة العهود.
The tourist experience in the kingdom is dated to 4,000 years ago through the visits to the holy house of Allah in all eras.
فإن المملكة قامت بتطوير قوانينها ونظامها القضائي وتطوير أنظمة الاستثمار لجذب الاستثمارات في جميع القطاعات.
Thus, the kingdom has reformed its laws, judicial system, and developed the investment regulations to attract investments in all sectors.
وبخاصة السماح للمستثمر الأجنبي الأجنبي بامتلاك 100% من مشروعه.
especially allowing the foreign investor to own 100% of his project.
وبخاصة قطاع الخدمات السياحية والثقافية
especially the sector of tourist and cultural services and recreational cities.
لذلك أصبحت المملكة واحدة من أهم الوجهات الاستثمارية.
So the kingdom has become one of the most important investment destinations.
وحققت مستوى عالي في التنافسية فاستقطبت أكثر من 455 مليار دولار أمريكي حتى نهاية 2019.
And has achieved a high level of competitiveness, attracting more than 455 billion of US dollars by the end of 2019.
يعد قطاع السياحة الداخلية في المملكة قطاعاً واعداً يحتاج إلى استثمارات ضخمة في جميع مجالات الضيافة والسكن مثل الفنادق والمنتجعات والقرى السياحية على شواطئ البحر الأحمر والخليج العربي.
The domestic tourism sector in the kingdom is a promising sector that needs huge investments in all areas of hospitality and housing, such as hotels, resorts, and tourist villages on the shores of the Red Sea and the Arabian Gulf.
وهي تعد من الشواطئ البكر وكذلك الخدمات الأرضية السياحية مثل النقل وشركات تنظيم الرحلات والإرشاد السياحي وكذلك في قطاع المدن الترفيهية.
Which is one of the virgin beaches, as well as tourist services such as transportation, tour operators and tourist guides, as well as in the recreational cities sector.
وحيث تمتلك مجموعتنا مجموعة RHH وبصيرة مجموعة من المستشارين الخبراء في مجال الاستثمار والحوكمة ومسرعات الأعمال، فإننا نرحب بمساعدة جميع المستثمرين في هذا القطاع.
As our group RHH and Baseera has a group of expert advisors in the areas of investment, governance, and business accelerators, we welcome the assistance of all investors in the sector.
ولا يفوتني في النهاية أن أشكر معالي الدكتور طالب الرفاعي والسادة المنظمين الأفاضل لاستضافتي في هذا اللقاء. شكرا مع طيب التحيات، شكرا للجميع مع طيب التحيات، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Finally, I'd like to thank His Excellency Dr. Taleb Rifai and the honorable organizers for hosting me in this blessing meetings. Thanks, best regards, His Royal Highness, the retired General Dr. Prince Abdulaziz bin Nasser bin Abdulaziz.
على عمرك سمو الأمير، شكرا جزيلا. الله يبارك فيك إن شاء الله. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you with us. You've explained very clearly how everything works in Saudi Arabia now. Let me just try to recap some of the things. First of all, Saudi Arabia has dedicated 455 billion US dollars to promote competitiveness and attract investment into Saudi Arabia. It's not limited to the tourism sector. It's a general thing. Secondly, Saudi Arabia, when it comes to tourism, has opened up even before the Corona thing. You know, the visas, 49 countries have free visa access now to Saudi Arabia. Get it upon arrival at the airport. Plus the fact that you can now invest with 100% ownership. It's very, very important, Your Royal Highness. Thank you so much for explaining all of this to us. Okay, with us also is RHH, CEO and the owner, and a very good friend, close friend and ally of the Prince, Mr. Raed, Habiss. Mr. Habiss, welcome to the meeting with us. I think, Mr. Habiss, you can speak in English directly. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Taleb. And I really would like to extend my sincere thanks to His Royal Highness, Dr. Abdulaziz bin Nasser, for attending this important global summit, which is discussing today the tourism industry and its future and perspectives. And I would like to thank the excellencies and all ladies and gentlemen attending this webinar.
Thank you so much, Mr. Habiss. Can I ask a question, please, directly? In the beginning of this conference, we mentioned the issue that Saudi Arabia is leading the G20 now. How do you think the role of Saudi Arabia could be in leading a new world order as such, particularly with tourism being in the center of it? And I know the 2030 vision is focusing a lot on tourism because it's diversifying the economy and trying to get out of just the monopoly of oil. Can you please explain a little bit more about how you see that happening? Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Habiss.
Thank you, sir. Actually, under the vision of Saudi Arabia 2030 and the National Transformation Plan, the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, God bless him, and our crown prince, the visionary and the driving force behind Vision 2030. The government have assisted its position globally, and this comes through a very hard work that have been exercised during the 5 years. The kingdom was positioning itself as a global major player in the global economy, as well as reform many government agencies, many laws, and a lot of plans to make Saudi Arabia as a global hub in the MENA region in terms of trading, in terms of innovation, in terms of national logistic program, as well as tourism, which plays a very important sector. The Crown Prince, God bless him, when he evaluated with SIDA, the Council of Economic Development Council, they got a very important role for local content. One of it is the inbound tourism. And Saudi Arabians, when they travel outside, the outbound travel is accumulated to be 30 billion US $. As His Royal Highness, Dr. Prince Abdulaziz said, Saudi Arabia is not new to hospitality. The kingdom, we have almost 4,000 years of accumulated experiences for religious visitors to the holy city of Mecca and Medina, and this goes back to the history of our Prophet Ibrahim. So now the government really focusing on inbound tourism, since the kingdom enjoy a variety and a wide perspective of tourism, religious traffic. There is also leisure, there is also historical, heritage, tourism, and the country enjoys a lot of geographical environment, especially the Red Sea from the north to the south of the west side of Saudi Arabia. There are mountaineer areas, there are desert areas, which is beautiful activity during the winter, especially in the middle of Saudi Arabia in Najd area. And there are also beautiful greeneries in the south of Saudi Arabia. And those are going to be premium destination for resorts and high luxury tourism products, which during the summer, you can say in the MENA region, temperature are almost 50, 55 degrees, while those areas in the low 20s and with a lot of greenery and clouds. So we're going to see a major transformation in the tourism services and the tourism product.
Thank you so much, Mr. Habiss. Thank you so much. The time is not on our side. I'd like to thank everybody, particularly Your Royal Highness, for this wonderful, wonderful occasion. Now, Saudi Arabia has one important issue there. I know, Mr. Habiss, you mentioned so much of the facilities that are there, but it's never what you have, it's what you do with what you have that matters. There's a political will to explore Saudi Arabia now. For example, Saudi Arabia has been unknown, more rather a closed country for a long period of time. Now is the time to go there and visit. So now is the time to make investments in Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much, Mr. Habiss. Royal Highness.
If I may
Please.
add, Dr. Taleb.
Please.
Yes,
Please.
I would like to say that, as you said, Saudi Arabia opened up after many years of being closed before, COVID-19. In last year, September 2019, Saudi Arabia now is giving visa, tourist visa upon arrival from the airport or through the internet. So there was a lot of
electronic visas.
Yes,
electronic visas. You can apply to visas online.
Yes,
that's
electronic
right.
visa, and also the government invested in many activities in terms of global cultural event, like what we have seen in Al-Ula. The government also invested in hosting global sport events like the Formula E in the Riyadh, and also global, the Spanish King Cup for La Liga, the major sport clubs from Spain. The same also was year before with hosting the Italian Football Super Cup. So the product also is becoming very sophisticated product in terms of sports or cultural event or natural event that tourists all over the world can enjoy while they are visiting Saudi Arabia. And what we can say that Saudi Arabia was the undiscovered spot or country in the world, but now it opened up, and it will open up not one destination. It has many destinations, and it has many products to offer to the global tourist.
Thank you so much, Mr. Habiss. You're absolutely correct. When there is a political will in a country like Saudi Arabia, the sky is the limit. So thank you so much, Your Royal Highness, for being with us. Thank you, Mr. Raed, Habiss. Thank you, everybody. Fatima, thank you for the good translation you've done. And I hand it back to you, Rajan. Now, thank you so much, Excellency.
Thank you, Dr. Taleb.
Thank you.